Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul. I'm one of the TDs that's on the committee. I was a TD up until 2011, and I probably have one of the biggest gaps between getting re-elected again. I got re-elected in October, November 2024, and the reason I'm saying that is that issues of the family law courts and coercive control were issues that I was aware of before I got re-elected to Dáil Éireann, and in fact I'd raised at a council level. In particular, I had raised the issue of the often used tool of the false accusations of parental alienation, and I had tabled a motion as a councillor, and unfortunately a parental alienation advocacy group got in touch with another councillor to table a motion that totally overturned that motion. And as we know, there are cases where parents, through their life situations, through stress or deliberately, do try and alienate their kids. But what's more appalling and systemic is those situations where, as the book has shown, so many parents are the ones who go and make the reports about abuse, and then it's turned around on them and they're accused of parental alienation. And I'm not going to mention, I'm not even going to grace his name in this forum, but we have one particular expert who is an advocate of the cult of parental alienation syndrome, and it's used constantly that as if a woman, a bit like when women were prone to fights of fancy in the 1800s, and that they couldn't be trusted with the vote, they couldn't be trusted with anything because they're so flighty. All of a sudden you get this syndrome coming upon a woman, and she's alienating her kids for no apparent reason against the poor man. To be clear, the situation, the stories here are from women. We know that there are parental disputes. We know that people suffer on both sides. We know that women can be as manipulative as men. But why is it that all the stories coming through in the podcast that led to this book are women? Because the system is geared against them. And that's something I've tried to raise, firstly on the council, and now as a TD, where among others, we've been calling for the removal of the in-camera rule in the family court system, because there's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be removed. Obviously you have to protect names, you cannot report a child, make anyone identifiable, but you can report the situation. You can report why a judge says, Professor X, I take your word, I don't need any more voice of the child in, you'll do, thank you very much. When Professor X has got $8,000 to do up a report that's supposed to be an unbiased report, but it's coming from the parent who can afford to pay, which is usually the man. That sort of stuff needs to have a light shone upon it. You see, when you shine light on maggots and creepy crawlies, they scurry away to try and get back into the darkness. And that's what we need the family law courts. Maybe with the best will in the world, the system is biased because of inherent flaws, but equally, when you have the tusla, as you mentioned, Finbar, the fact that the rotten barrel gets more rotten because of the starter fermentation process. There are people who go into the system with the best training, the best intentions, and the system swallows them up. And they're told to do X and told to do Y, and all of a sudden the voice of the child is totally lost in this, and the mother who has been trying to advocate for her child becomes the villain and is absolutely defiled by the system. That's the only word I can say. And you mentioned that politicians would be horrified by this, and we are. And it is easier to, as we had a vote recently, to go in and talk about why the government isn't doing enough to tackle the rising cost of fuel. It's a very simple subject. This is a lot more complex. It's very nuanced in many cases, but unfortunately we haven't seen the movement that we've needed. So the one quote that came to me from the book, I have the Kindle version, by the way. You can download it as well as get the physical one. And the only line I want to read from the book, because everything else has been said, is this book is a call not to look away. It is a call to act. So anyone who's been brought to the attention of the podcast, brought to the attention of what's in the book, has a moral obligation to act. And I was scratching my head. Obviously the committee is working together One of its members hasn't been able to attend as regularly in recent weeks, so we haven't had a formal meeting as often as we like, and we hope to get that moving again. But I don't think you can wait around long enough. So every probably 8 or 9 months I get a private member's business slot. I'm in a group at 7 TDs, so I got one in September, and the next one I have is coming up in April. So this has reinforced what I was thinking of anyway, but I'm going to use the book as the hook. I'm going to table the motion in my private member's slot about what the book has revealed and what its asks are. It's not going to change anything initially, I doubt very much, but it's just shining a little bit of extra light, giving TDs the opportunity to speak for 2 hours on the issue and putting it into the ball of the Minister for Justice. So that's my commitment. In a month's time, I'm going to use the book as the lead-in to the issues in terms of the family law courts and in terms of reform of TUSLA. And I hope that will generate some debate, and I hope it'll give some further coverage for the book, because the more people read the book, the more people will want to see action. So thank you very much for the invitation tonight, and I wish you all very well.
And thank you both.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Please like and share.